So this could be a very thrilling game here today.
Well, it could undoubtedly. Fairly well matched. Interesting game, and they're gone.
Yeah, that's it. Paul Boylan just threw the ball in there. It's Lurgan on the attack. Lurgan just can't get out of there. There's a few heavy tackles going in there. Brandy Coleman picks the ball up. He feeds it out to his wing half-back, who's number 7 there, which is Mark Farron. Mark Farron tries to get a quick ball into Paul Hand. Paul Hand just can't get the ball into his hand. In fact, he fumbles that ball, and it's Killeavy number 6 there. Matty McAvoy comes out with it, but he gets blocked down. He gets sort of closed out for space, and he gets blocked. Michael Dorn now gives a short ball out to Anthony Chiarville. Anthony tries to hit the ball over his shoulder, but Eddie Farron, who's actually replaced Niall Trainer in there, the full back line, standing on his own a world of time, and he drives that ball. He hits it a good 90, 100 yards down the field and in the direction of the corner, but this Raymond Daly now, who picks it up for Lurgan, puts the ball straight back down the lane again. There's 2 Killeavy men here standing waiting for it, but none of the 2 of them can pick it. It's now the number 10 there, Mike Niles 3 in there, and Paul Boylan has give a free out there. I think he judged him to maybe be holding on the tackle park. Is that what it was for?
Yeah, I think he gave it against Tom McCavan there for maybe just a slight pull on the jersey while he tussled for the ball there.
And the ball's back in play now again from the free. And Glenn McKeown picks it up on the number 17 now. There's a few changes on the team. The number 17, Dermot Austin, has come in. I'm not sure who it's for, but he was a judge there to give the free away, and it's going to be number 13 now for Killeavy. Connor Honaway standing over this ball. He's just right on the 75, near enough on the end, on the sideline. You know, it's going to be a tough free for him to put this ball over the bar. Ball's pumped in high to the edge of the square. Killeavy number 11 there, which is Raymond McNally, doubles in that ball first time and puts it, great ball into the back of the net. I don't think Kieran Mulholland was expecting that one to get through to him, Park, was he?
No, Kieran had no chance with that. That's a huge lift for Killeavy playing up the hill, where you would imagine the scoring goals would be down the hill, and that's a great start for Killeavy. Yeah,
and also that's a huge puck out there from Kieran Mulholland too. Against the wind, he put the ball down to the Killeavy 45-yard line. The ball is actually broke now for Lurgan again. It's Paddy Devine trying to get on it. He goes with one hand on the stick, but he just can't get that ball up first time. He probably would have been better going with 2 there. It's now the number 24 for Killeavy, who's Cahill Boylan. Cahill tries to feed the ball down the line to Niall Strain. Niall just gets dispossessed there by Brandy Coleman. Brandy takes the tackle well, wins the free, and I think he sort of sticks the chest out there, kind of saying, if you want to have a go, come on ahead. I think we all know Brandy, that's kind of his style of hurling.
Brandy's an experienced player. He's played here on many occasions and in quite a few finals. He has a few medals in his cabinet now, and he'll do all in his power today to win this match.
Yeah, definitely so. And it's Michael Dorn stand over this free. Michael strikes it nice, but it's just going to drop short in on the edge of the square there. Paddy Devine picks it first time. Great catch from Paddy Devine. Turns and fires that ball over the bar for a great score, Park.
Yeah, the turn from Paddy was quality there. He knew absolutely what he was going to do. He took the ball well, he protected his hand, and took, I suppose, what was a relatively easy score, but it gets Sean Treacy's on the scoreboard and it maybe relaxing a little.
Yeah, definitely so. The puck out's been took here now. It's Lurgan have won this ball first time now through Decky Cusack. Decky tries to feed it into his full forward line, but he kind of mishits that ball and it only goes as far as Matty McAvoy. It's now young Honaway on the ball. Honaway feeds the ball up into the corner in the direction of Davy Grant. Davy tries to pick it first time on the sideline, keeps the ball in play, tries to fire the ball over his shoulder in the direction of Raymond McNally again. Raymond tackles Mulholland in the nets, but Mulholland does well to recover there, and that ball's been put out for a 75.
Yeah, Davy chose to shoot from on the sideline there. Davy will shoot from anywhere, and on quite a lot of the occasions he'll score. He has good quality. Sometimes he may take the wrong option there, and maybe if he'd have bumped off a pass, maybe across to the centre half forward there. However, as the game progresses, a lot of these shots will come off for Davy. He has good quality with long range shots. Yeah, definitely so, and it's going to be actually Davy now to hit this free himself. It's relatively, it's pretty central to the goals, the Lurgan goals, so Davy should be confident of putting this ball over the bar. Davy lifts it, he doesn't just get the right connection on it, drops it in on the edge of the keeper. Kieran Mulholland blocks it out again. It's the number 10 there for Killeavy. Niall Strain pulls on it first time, but the ball seemed to be deflected on it. Does the referee give it a wide, Park? The umpire certainly given a wide. It appeared from here to be deflected. However, the referee's going with his umpire. He has agreed with him. He was beside it, so we'll have a puck out for Lurgan. Yes, so far as it stands, it's a goal to Killeavy and a point to Lurgan. Ball's hit long here, dropping on the 45-yard line between
three Killeavy players and 3 Lurgan men. Paul Boylan has gave that a free out again. I think it was a push in the back he gave that for. It was Donald Toll. Made himself big there. He got strong over that ball, and the Lurgan man charged into the back of him, and he gave a free out.
Yeah, Killeavy defend well now. I think maybe what helped them defeat Darnus was they scored 3 goals in the first half, and basically they could have had 2 here already. So if they take their chances in front of goals now.
That's a great strike there from Matty McAvoy. Matty pumps that ball in on top of the full forward line. They can't just collect it there. It was Davy Grant again who's trying to get onto that ball. Logan Mon charges out with it, but it kind of come awkward off his stick, and the ball has went out for a sideline. Yeah,
the pressure that Killeavy forwards are putting on the Sean Treacy's defenders is leaving that Sean Treacy are finding it very difficult to pick out a man in their midfield or the half forward line, and Killeavy's game plan is to put pressure on all over the pitch here.
Yeah, definitely. So you can see that from word go that the Killeavy lads are right up in their faces from number 1 right to 15 there. They're putting pressure on the ball no matter where it is. Ball is broke here again now to number 24 for Killeavy. That is Cathal Boylan. Cathal Boylan was done for over carrying there. He probably just took a wee bit much out of it, although he kind of was boxed up in there, Park. There wasn't a big pile he could do with it.
No, there wasn't a lot else he could do. He probably took 5, maybe 6 steps there. Paul Boylan was very quick to give that free. However, I would have to say he was correct.
Anthony Carville puts this ball down in the direction of the corner, but Matty McAvoy reads it, picks the ball out first time, tries to deliver it across the field. He's hooked, but it's fell kindly there for his midfielder, who is Owen McParland. Owen McParland gets dispossessed, but he gets the ball back in his hand again. He tries to break the tackle. He does. He gets away. He gives a short hand pass, probably not the best ball in the world. Michael Doran got in though, got the flick on it. It's now come out to Brandy Coleman, standing in space in the middle of the field, and Brandy fires that one straight over the bar. Great score there from Brandy Coleman, Park.
Yeah, as we've alluded to before, it's not Brandy's first score here. Vastly experienced in the Sean Treacy's colours. Great score from him. He takes the pass. He's 70 metres out. He strikes it straight between the posts. Good score from Brandy, and that'll bring him into the game.
It's the keeper pucking it out again now, number 1 there for Killeavy's Eamon McAteer. Eamon gets that ball. You can see how strong the wind is in this first half. It's just dropping onto his own 75 there, so it's going to be tough for Killeavy. Whatever score that they get in this first half, Park, is going to be precious for them. Yeah.
If they can hold this to half time, if they can tag on another couple of points, if they can score even for every 2 Sean Treacy scores, the wind and downhill in the second half will be a big advantage to them.
Yeah, as we've seen here, nearly any game we've commentated on where there's been a wind, it's been a massive advantage in the second half of the team playing down the hill.
I'm sure it has. There's a great cut there from Matty McAvoy. It must have been 60 or 70 yards. That and his frees will be a major factor in this game, and they'll be certainly huge in the second half when he'll be able to put them over from probably inside his own half.
Yeah, definitely. So it's actually hard to know what way this wind's blowing here. It seems to be coming into our face now at the minute, so it kind of seems to keep changing here the whole time. Kieran Holland put that ball kind of short there, but he didn't pick out the player first time, and it's the full back there, Cathal McGarry, come out, and Cathal missed the ball, but Killeavy man gets it across here to, I think it's number 24 on the ball. It's just hard to see who it is.
Cathal Boylan, yes.
Yeah, Cathal Boylan. Torrens once, Torrens twice. He turns in his good side, fires that ball over the bar. A great score there from Cathal Boylan.
Good score. He didn't have a lot of room. He basically made a yard for himself there, turned onto his right and stroked it over the bar. They're not afraid to shoot, the Killeavy lads. They're full of confidence. It'll certainly stand to them as the game goes on.
Yeah, definitely so. That's a long puck out now again from Kieran Holland in the direction of Michael Doran. Michael just can't get that first time, but it's Sean Treacy's number 20 there, which is Tom McCavin. Tom picks that ball up and he drives it into the full back line. Eddie Fearn and his other corner back get kind of getting each other's road there, and Eddie had that ball in his hand, and that's a very soft free there. I think that Paul Kelly has given. Looked like Eddie kind of rugby tackled him on there, and
you could possibly have given that free for Sean Treacy's. Eddie, in fairness, may have tripped and fell into the back of Paddy Devine there, but I don't know. I'm sure Eddie doesn't know how he managed to get a free out of that.
Yeah, definitely so. Matty McAvoy hit that ball first time into the corner. The ball's now whipped straight across the 45, and it's number 10 there for Killeavy. Nell Strain on the ball first time. Nell gets the ball on his right side, fires that ball high and fires it over the bar. Great score there from Nell Strain. Nell was under a lot of pressure there, still got the shot away from about 50-55 yards and put it straight between the posts.
Yeah, again, it's confidence, and any of the Killeavy forwards that are receiving the ball one-on-one, they're going for the shot straight away, and it's been successful for them so far.
And as it stands here, it's 1-2 to Killeavy and 2 points to Lurgan. Ball now has broken the middle of the field again. It's Reese McGee picks the ball first time, gives a short ball to Michael Dorn, who catches it. First time ball in his hand, gives it straight into Paul Hand in the corner. Paul just misjudges that the ball there into the corner, but it's John Kelly covering now. Paul Hand has come back and he has pulled him to the ground, and he's given a free out to Killeavy. That was a promising move there, Park, from Reese McGee. Give a great ball there to Michael Dorn. Michael gave it into Paul Hand. It was just a wee touch too high for Paul Hand to get on the ball there. Had he have got on it, you know, John Kelly's getting on in years. I know Paul Hand's a very quick player. He'll cause him trouble in there if he gets a ball one-on-one with him. Yeah, well,
Sean Treacy have pulled Michael Dorn out to midfield, as we mentioned at the beginning. However, they haven't replaced him in the full forward line, and any long ball going in there will have to bring both your corner forwards into play. The ball will have to be perfect for them. Anything, the full back's going to mop up anything that's not directly to the corner forward.
That's Owen McParlin on the ball now. Owen, to me, gets a soft free there, and there's descent again now. That's actually the second time it has happened. There's been a bit of descent there, and Paul Boylan has just straight away. He must have moved that ball maybe 15-20 yards.
Yeah, it looks like 20, but quite possibly you would learn a lesson then. Don't answer him back.
Yeah, definitely so. So it's going to be Cahill Boylan standing over this free here to hit it just on his own 70. Cahill strikes that ball sweet, and he just pumps that ball over the bar. That's as cool as you like.
Again, that's the descent. Where the free was actually given, he was never going to score it up the hill. However, when the ball's moved forward, it becomes a scoreable chance, and Killeavy are scoring very well here. They're taking most of their chances.
Here's Paddy Devine getting on this ball. Oh, Paddy was away there. He actually had a bit of, I'm not sure what way the ref has given this. Yeah, Paul has given a free in. I think he probably could have let that go. Paul was in possession of the ball, or was just about to be in possession of the ball. He had broke the tackle, and he wasn't burned down in goal as such, but he was definitely in a good position to get the ball in his hand.
Well, it certainly could have been a goal scoring chance there, because he was moving. He had the ball in his possession. He was moving at speed. He was about to take the full back on. Absolutely, there could have been a goal chance out of that. However, I suppose Sean Treacy's maybe be happy enough to stick another point on the board here to leave themselves only 3 behind.
Yeah, and as it stands, it's 1-3 to Killeavy and 2 points to Lurgan. It's Paddy Devine standing over this free. Paddy's already got a point in the first half here. I think it was the first score Lurgan got. It's for a free taker, from a free taker's point of view, Park. If you wanted a free in a game, this is pretty much where you'd want it, straight in front of goals and about 35-40 yards out.
Yeah, it shouldn't be any bother to a guy of Paddy's quality here. And he'll want to lead Sean Treacy's here and begin to take a few scores himself. Well,
it's about 41 yards out now. The referee has made him move it back a yard there, so I think he still should be fit to put it over the bar. Yeah, and it was easy for him, as you say, for a player his quality. He's not going to miss a free like that.
No, Sean Treacy's really need to come into the game here now, in the remainder of this half, if they're going to use the advantage of downhill at all.
It's a long puck out there from the Killeavy keeper. It's the number 13 there, Conor Holloway, picks it up first time. He feeds Niall Strain out on the far wing. Niall gets the ball in his hand first time, takes the top, takes a wee look there, tries to be a wee bit fancy, but still retains the ball. He gets a shoulder in the back, which probably could have been a free in, but he gives the ball to Paddy Bourne. Paddy Bourne's out on the sideline there. He doesn't seem to have a big pile of options, but he gets the ball away to Raymond McNally. Raymond McNally hand passes it back now to Holloway again. Holloway fires that one in, a wee bit sort of irrational there, Park. He snapped at that one. If he had maybe took a wee second on it, he would have seen that he had a player standing in the corner and he was in 15-20 yards of space.
Yeah, I suppose what we've noticed that the younger Killeavy players, like last year's minors and this year's, seem to have a very good understanding together. Where some of the older forwards really aren't in tune with those younger guys. I suppose that all comes from playing together for years.
Yeah, this Paul Boylan has actually give a 70 here, a 75. Davy Grant has come out to hit this one. To me, Cahill Boylan stuck that one perfectly over the bar, the last one. You would have thought when he hit that one so sweet that he would have been taking the next one, but Davy's obviously the elected free taker on the day, so Davy's going to have a shot at this one.
Well, Davy's capable as well. He dropped the last one just short. It'll get his confidence up if this one goes over.
Davy lifts the ball, he fires it in the direction of the goal, and I think, yeah, Davy's put that one over the bar too, so that's a great score there from Davy Grant.
Yeah, he's a great style of striking the ball. There's been many hours of practice in Killeavy's pitch there. You can see he has his feet planted. He lifts the ball perfectly well. He's very used to taking these long range frees.
That's Kieran Mulholland now pumping that ball out again down towards his half forward line. It's Paul Hand out in front. First time Paul does well there. Does very well to get on that ball straight away. It's Hanaway now. Conor Hanaway tracking back there. He's in his own corner back. He tries to get the tackle in, but Lurgan Mon still gets the ball off. Number 7 there for Killeavy just lost the fly that one. Paddy Devine got on it, but he couldn't get the ball away, and the referee has I think he's given a free there for a third man tackle. Park. He seemed to Paddy had lost the ball, and it was the number 4 there, Donald Toll. Donald just stood in his path and took him out of it, and that's what Paul's given the free for.
Yeah, that's what he's given it for. In fact, he's going to produce a card for it. By the looks of things, I would hope he wouldn't produce a black one, and that we don't have any in hurling.
Anything's possible.
Thomas Cassidy there just unfortunately was in pole position to receive that ball, but he was unsighted by the sun, and was unfortunate there. Went on ahead to Paddy Devine, who yes was fouled, and Paddy will strike this over the bar to again leave 3 in it.
Yeah, that's probably the last 2 scores that are kind of keeping Lurgan in it here at the minute. Was 2 needless frees in around that area. But to me, there was 3 Killeavy men there in control of that ball, and there was only Paddy Devine, from Lurgan in the vicinity as such, and they needlessly fouled him. Whereas they could have had enough manpower there to get that ball, get into their hand, and get it cleared.
Yeah, full back line maybe, or when they're under pressure, are just finding things difficult.
Keeper went there with a short puck out. Eamon McAteer tried to find Eddie Fern, but Eddie Fern just kind of lost his foot in there, and ball went through his legs and out over the line here for a sideline to Lurgan. It's going to be Brandy Coleman to step up and hit this now. And I know from playing against Brandy and seeing him play, Brandy's well able to put the likes of these balls over the bar. I've seen him do it before.
Oh, he is, most certainly.
And just as I said, Brandy can hardly get the ball off the ground, but the ball falls nicely back to Brandy. Brandy takes a step inside, takes a wee touch, gives the hand pass out there to number 10, Decky Cusack. Decky Cusack just takes a wee bit too much out of that ball and gets dispossessed. Ball's a wee bit sort of bobbly in around the middle of the field there, and they can't get rid of it. Kind of fighting for possession here. The ball's been flicked out now, and it's Killeavy on the ball. As Donald Toll there tries to get that one clear, but he gets blocked down. It's very messy in there now at the minute. Paul Wine, Paul has given a free in there for, I think it was a shoulder on the back. It was Owen McParnell just come in and shouldered the man on the back, and again Park wee bit needless there with the giving away the free. Yeah,
this is the 3rd free, I suppose, in this last 5 to 6 minutes, and the 3 of them you would consider to be needless, and Sean Treacy are capable of popping these over the bar all day. Certainly what we've noticed, Sean Treacy have persisted with the 2-man full forward line. To me, it's not working at present, and they have the advantage of the wind and the hill.
Yeah, Michael Dorn pumps this ball in, puts it right in the edge of the 6-yard box, but the ball just misses all contact there and goes out wide. I think I can see the number 5 there for Killeavy, Peter Smith, going in just having a word with his keeper. I think he's maybe just telling him to settle down and not to rush the puck out. So he kind of rushed the last one, Eddie Fern, and went out for a sideline. So Killeavy back in possession here. It was Niles through and done very well to get out in front. Niles, young lad too, Park.
Yeah, very strong runner with the ball, very strong in possession, and he'll cause problems there if Killeavy bring him into the game a bit more.
Yeah, well, so far he has been on the ball quite a bit. I see an old servant of Killeavy's there warming up at the minute. Niall Trainer down the sideline. I know he's carrying a bit of a thigh injury. I don't know how fit he is or not, but they're definitely warming him up at the minute.
I'd imagine you'll see Niall come on before the game's over.
Yeah, that was Cahill Boylan there. Cahill hit that free again in the middle of the field, and this time he just put it to the left of the post and wide. Brandy Coleman now. Brandy delivers a long high ball in towards the full forward line. The full forward kind of missed there. Paddy Devine got out on it first time. Takes a wee jink left and right, fires it over the bar with his left side. No Park. That's 4 scores now for Paddy Devine. Only Brandy Coleman on the team has scored other than Paddy. Paddy's definitely keeping them in this game at the minute.
He is, and but when they're backs of possession, Paddy's ending up back in the full forward line again. He's the go-to man in there, and if Lurgan continue to put long balls into them, they can continue to get scores.
Yeah, definitely. So that was Nels 3 in there in the far side of the field. He tried to give that ball in first time short to Paddy Bourne, but the number 2 there, Ryan Sands, come out and read it. It's John Kelly now and Paul Hahn fighting for possession at the far side. Kelly goes with one hand, miss it, but he gets it up the second time. Vassen. He goes inside now to Donald Toll. Donald Toll switches it across the field in the direction of Boylan there. Boylan does brilliantly there to catch that ball. He takes on his man, steps back onto his left side and fires that ball brilliantly over the bar. Brilliant score, Park.
Yeah, there's a bit of quality about that score. When Killeavy first received the ball, they gave two quality passes there, looked for a man in space, gave it to his hand, and a fine score, well deserved.
Kieran Mulholland hits this ball again now. It is broke to the number 9 for Killeavy, Owen McParland. Owen gives a short hand pass to Conor Holloway. Conor tries to put it in the direction of Niles 3, and Niall gets out in front. He just can't get it under control first time. Rian McNally there to pick up the pieces. It's number 24 again, Cahill Boylan. Cahill pumps a high ball in. What a brilliant score, Park, from the middle of the field. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. He picked up a bit of loose ball there and he just pumped it straight over the bar, 70-75 yards out. He just struck it easily over the bar.
Yeah, the long range shooting from Cahill Boylan has been fabulous now. He's receiving a lot of ball around in the middle of the field. He's not been marked very terribly well. Yeah,
definitely. So that's Paddy Devine there trying to get his hand on that ball. To me, it come off his hand, but the linesman has signalled it's a sideline to Lurgan. So yeah, Cahill Boylan there, as we're saying about Paddy Devine, Cahill Boylan has 4 points of his own, as has Paddy Devine, you know. So the two lads are the two main score getters on both teams at the minute.
Yeah, it's a battle between both of them at the minute, and if Sean Treacy's can get Paddy into the game more, they'll certainly get more scores. But the last score from Cahill Boylan was fabulous. It would grace any pitch.
Yeah, definitely so. It's going to be Brandy Coleman now to put the sideline in towards the Lurgan goals. Brandy hits it hard. He just can't get onto this one again now. Reese McGee and Michael Dorn fight for this. Reese gets the ball out first time, tries through a couple of tackles there, and he's adjudged to have been fouled there from I think it's the corner forward. Conor Holloway again. Conor Holloway seems to be spending a lot of his time, you know, tracking back. He seems to be doing only not laying as deep. He seems to be nearly picking up Michael Dorn.
Well, the two 13s have moved to the middle. They're both playing with two full forwards. Treacy's have two full backs, and they're keeping their centre half spare there. If Sean Treacy can put this over again, it'll leave 3 in it. And yeah, he uses the wind well.
Paddy Devine, great score there. Just the way he struck it, you just knew as soon as it came off his stick it was going straight between the posts, and that's leaving it now. Killeavy 1-6 and Sean Treacy's Lurgan 6 points. It's going to be Eamon McAteer pucking this ball out again. Eamon tries to go for a wee bit of distance, but the wind's holding him up again. The ball breaks there, but as Raymond Daly gets a stick on it, he just whips on it first time. But the number 11 there for Killeavy, Raymond McNally. Raymond yells it, pumps it down into the corner towards Davy Grant. Davy's out and wins it first time. Davy's feeding it into the full forward line. Full forwards out in front of his man. He just fumbles the ball there a few times. He just can't get it under control. It's the number 15, Paddy Bourne. And Paddy, I think he fouled the man there as he was laying on the ground. I think he tackled Brandy Coleman, wouldn't let him up, and Paul Wine has given the free out.
Yeah, that seems to happen. It's probably a bit of frustration from Paddy there. It was a good enough ball in from Davy Grant to his feet. He came out and just a fumble. The ball wouldn't come up for him, and if it had done again, there was another scoring opportunity because Davy Grant was available for the return pass.
This is Raymond Daly now inside his own half. Raymond's going for a wee bit of accuracy more so than distance with this one. He picks out Paddy Devine first time with the ball. Paddy puts that one to the right and wide, and that's probably been Paddy's easiest chance that he's had so far, Park, and he's put it wide.
That's certainly his easiest from play. When they give the ball in Paddy's direction, he's winning it. He's always managed to get the shot away when he's been in possession, and he's going to be a big player for Sean Treacy for the rest of this game.
This ball now is drilled towards the middle of the field. It's the number 13 there. Conor Holloway gets on the ball first time, shows a great turn of pace. He picks out his number 9, Owen McParland. Owen fumbles the ball first time. Owen has a pop from outside the 21 and he puts it into the side net. And I'm not sure Kieran Mulholland knew a big pile about that one, Park.
No, Owen, you'd imagine with 3 points in front in the first half should maybe have taken his point there. That could possibly prove crucial towards the end. However, when you're young, you're in a final and it's your first scoring opportunity. Maybe he considered going for the goal was the right option.
Yeah, you're saying that you're young, you don't have a big pile of fear, you're definitely going to have a go at it. You know, if the opportunity comes, sometimes the same opportunities that can be the win of the game too.
Well, the Cavan absolutely had it going in. It was quite possibly game over, but Treacy's are strong enough again at the back now.
Killeavy putting a lot of pressure there on the full back and the centre half back for Lurgan, but as Michael Dorn picks this up, first time now, feeds it into number 10 there, which is Decky Cusick. Decky gets out in front. Decky takes on his man. The ball's sort of mishit. Paul Hans in chasing that first time, but the Killeavy keeper does brilliant there. Gets out, wins the ball, breaks the tackle and drives it to the middle of the field. There's two Killeavy men contesting it, but it's big Owen McParland there in the middle of the field now. You know, Owen gets it first time, gets it into the corner to Davy Grant, who makes a brilliant run. Davy has a bit of space on the ball. Davy turns, fires it over the bar for a great score there for Davy Grant.
Yeah, if they can get Davy on the ball in a bit of space at times, left or right, 50 yards, 60 yards, he'll strike them. He's not lacking in confidence, and as the game goes on and the more of those he gets, the more chances, the more he'll score.
And I can see now Paddy Devine seems to have come a wee bit further out the field, coming looking about the ball. He's maybe getting a wee bit frustrated in the corner that he's not getting it, but he done well there. He came out, called the ball, he went out, put the hand up, won it first time and drew the free then. It's going to be Michael Dorn hitting this ball, this free, right in the middle of the field, right on the 75. Michael strikes it very well and puts it straight over the bar. Great score there from Michael.
Yeah, that puts 3 in the game. 1-7 Killeavy, 7 points. Sean Treacy's still in the game, but you'd consider really that they should be in front by now with the advantage of the hill here.
That ball's out into open play again, and it's Anthony Carville. I think it's the first ball maybe that Anthony's got on to, but Anthony gets hooked. He very intelligently there flicks the ball back to Paddy Devine again. Paddy breaks the tackle, fires the ball off his right shoulder and just puts it wide. Looked to be very close there. There didn't seem to be a big pile in it.
No, that was a quality pass to play there. I think Anthony Carville has been in the game much. The more he comes into the game, and he'll work well there with Paddy, and they can get a few scores.
So this is Eddie Fern chasing this one. It's actually Matty McAvoy now coming across to win the ball. Matty stands and he jukes out of 2 tackles there. He done very well not to get hit, but he draws the free anyway. So Matty's going to set the ball and set it down and hit himself on his own 45 just in off the sideline.
Matty'll go for distance, and I think he'll try to reach Davy Grant possibly with this.
Yeah, I'd say he'll be putting it right in on the edge of the square. Yeah, and he pumps the ball in. The ball is broke there too. Davy Grant. Davy just can't get away. Davy seems to be fouled, and the referee has given a free out. He's given it for over carrying, and to me that was a penalty all day long. You have to give the man who's carrying the ball, you have to give him the attacker the advantage of, he's done him for over carrying, but to me you have to give him the advantage of, you know, a step or 2 extra to at least try and get the ball away. But when he's fouled like that, to me it had a penalty right all over it.
He didn't make any attempt to play the ball, I suppose. However, with 3 men around him, he couldn't. Referees will look at it. A different referee would have given a penalty 100% of the time. Paul hasn't, and that'll be frustrating for Killeavy.
Yeah, definitely so. Definitely frustrating for Killeavy, but it's going to be Kieran Mulholland now pumping this ball out. Kieran gets a lot of distance on it. It's actually hard to know now. That's Paddy Devine there again. Brilliant catch. That's 3 brilliant passes to the play where he's fielded the ball and just pumped it into space. Matty McAvoy gets that ball. First time he gets it away to Eddie Fern. Eddie whips it down the line, but it's only as far as Reece McGee. Reece McGee in turn pumps it straight back into the corner again, where Donald Toll's standing with plenty of space on his own. Donald fires it off his left side, but he's hooked there, and it only comes back out as far as Paddy Devine. Paddy steps inside, takes a touch and fires that one towards goal, but it hits the post. Yeah, you could see it from the angle we were sitting. It's number 2 there. John Kelly's a wee bit fumbly on it, but John does well to get that ball away as far as Eddie Fern. Eddie blocks it down, but Paddy Devine's in there with him. Matty McAvoy again trying to get the ball under control, but he just can't get it. It's fired in there into the corner there from the number 17, Dermot Austin, but that ball goes to the right of the post and wide.
Paddy's not had much luck over this last 5 minutes. He's had a couple of shots there narrowly wide. He hits the post with that one. He's been getting on the ball a lot, and Sean Treacy seemed to be looking for him now, and he's been probably the best player in the first half so far.
Yeah, definitely so. Paddy's got 5 points already, but he could have had another 3 there. 3 points from 3 easy, you know, scoring opportunities that he had, and he didn't take them. This is Niall's 3 now. The ball is broke handy for Niall. Niall, brilliant burst of pace there, and he's left his 2 men in his wake. He's pushing or burned down on goal, but Niall probably does the sensible thing there, Park. He picks that ball and tops it over the bar. It now leaves it 1-8 to 7 points for Killeavy.
Yeah, when Niall gets the ball there and he moves at speed, there's nobody's going to catch him. Yes, sensible option. Put the ball over the bar. Put yourself 4 points up, coming very close to half time. Killeavy would have to be happy enough with leading at this stage.
Yeah, that's Reece McGee there, feeds the ball first time. Brandy Coleman has got it straight in front of the Killeavy goals, but it's a brilliant tackle there from Donald Toll. Eddie Fern has it now, he picks it up on his own 45, drills the ball down into the corner towards Davy Grant. Davy's double marked here. Davy's going to fire it low, first time ball into the full forward. There's number 15, there's Paddy Byrne. Paddy takes on his man, he's burned down on goal and gets a brilliant goal. Takes on his man, first time, rifles it past Kieran without rushing Kieran Mulholland. Great score there, a great goal for Killeavy. Great goal
and what a time to get it. Again, made by Davy Grant, who Killeavy are looking for at all times. He picks it early in front of his man, turns on his left, gives a quality ball into Paddy Byrne there, takes on the corner back, bang, it sticks it in the corner. It's a fabulous score, and at this time of the game, it's massive for Killeavy.
Yeah, it's come at a crucial time for Killeavy. Ball now again is fired in the direction of Niall Strain. Niall just misjudges the bounce there. It's the number 5 there, Michael Ward, for Lurgan, trying to get the ball away. As Reece McGee ends up picking up the pieces. Reece feeds it into number 20 there, Tom McKevin. Tom pumps in a high ball, but kind of a wee bit wasteful there. There was nobody inside. He maybe thought that he could have picked off a score, but he probably would have been better to try and pick somebody out there and you know, maybe look about a scoring opportunity.
Yeah, there are a couple of quality guys in the full forward line there, and I suppose the difference when you look at Killeavy's last score, 2 quality passes in low in front of your forward, and Treacy's aren't just doing that at present. However, when they get in at half time, they'll have a chat about it. We'll maybe see some different tactics in the second half.
Yeah, definitely so. There's a ball whipped in there by Paul Hahn, but Donald holds out in front again. So far it's been 2 Killeavy men every time out in front for that ball in the forward line. And there's Cahill Boyle again. Cahill picks that ball up first time. He looks for Paddy Byrne again. Paddy's trying to fight for that ball in there with 2 men, but it's Raymond Daly who gets the ball under his control and pumps the ball high to the far wing. Niall Strain does very well there to get a stick on it, but he just can't pick up the pieces. Yeah, Paul Boyle has given a free in there for Chapman on the number 5 there, which is Michael Ward. Killeavy are kind of doing now what Lurgan have been trying to do in the first half. Killeavy are trying to isolate players in the full forward line. It is 3-on-2, but the difference is Killeavy's kind of using the space. Davy Grant's getting right out onto the wings, and then he's looking for Paddy Byrne there. Paddy's making the run. He knows if Davy gets the ball, Park, he's feeding it straight to Paddy every time. You know, Paddy's getting out in front of his man, and it's leaving the extra defender a wee bit ineffective because he can't get into that space. There's a goal opportunity there, but there's a bit of confusion here. That one umpire has give a goal and the other umpire has give it wide, so I think Paul Boylan's going to overrule it and he's going to give I'm not sure if he's giving a puck out or if he's blew it for half time.
I think he's probably going to speak to his 2 umpires here. One umpire has given a goal straight away. The other has probably been watching the passage of play and hasn't noticed the motion from the first umpire.
Yeah, it's hard to know what he's going to do here. I don't think the ref was too sure himself whether the ball was in or not. It was hard to see. There was a lot of bodies between the ref and the goal line, so it's
certainly difficult to see from here, but Kieran Nugent, the umpire, seemed quite adamant that the ball had crossed the line in the first instance.
The referee has overruled him, and he gave a wide ball, and now he has blue for half time. So a wee bit of a controversial decision there at the end of that first half. It probably would have done the game no good or no harm to have that goal scored there. Well, as it stands, it's 2-8 to Killeavy and 7 points to Lurgan.
In this final, and the winners, of course, will go on to represent Armagh in the Ulster Junior Hurling Championship, something that Sean Treacy's have left behind them over this last number of years and competed well in it. So it'll be interesting to see whether their experience counts here in the second half.
Yeah, definitely so, but they're going to have it all to do here in this second half. As I said just before half time, they're 7 points down. They've now given away a free here just inside the Killeavy half. It's Matty McAvoy standing over it. Matty's going to look about pumping this ball into the edge of the square. Matty gets a good contact on it there, puts it in on top of Kieran Mulholland. Kieran comes out and blocks it first time. Anthony Chiarville picks it up. Anthony drives it straight back down McAvoy's throat. McAvoy can't pick it up there, but he tries to get over that ball, and big number 20 there, Tom McCavan, is in and throwing his weight about for that. Paddy Devine has come out now and won the ball. Paddy pumps it straight into the corner there to number 10, which is Decky Cusick. Decky does very well to get out in front of his man. Decky shows a bit of pace, puts it back across to McCavan, but McCavan can't get on the ball. McAvoy then gets in and gets a stick in that, but Paul Hand was very strong there. Paul came in and got the flick on it, and Matty has come in and chopped down on Brandy Coleman there and give a free in just inside the 45, and it's going to be a free to Lurgan just to the left of the posts, and it should be a reasonably straightforward free for Paddy Devine here, Park.
Yeah, it was good work from Paul Hand there, who just retrieved the situation for Sean Treacy's. They had good possession. Tried the short pass over Tom McCavan there. It went behind him, and Paul, as I say, Paul then retrieved the situation, and you'd imagine Paddy put this over the bar. Sean Treacy's would need a good start in this half. Yeah,
definitely so. That's Paddy Devine now. Paddy strikes that ball well, and that ball just goes to the right and wide. To me, from where we're sitting, we've got the perfect view on it, and it looked like it was over the bar, but like Tony Anscombe in there, he's not the sort of bite of him messing about with or going again, so Tony said it was wide, so you have to take his word for it. This ball now's pumped in around the middle of the field again in the direction of Hanaway, Conor Hanaway. Hanaway pumps the ball into the corner, but Lurgamon's out in front first time. Reece McGee picks it up, takes a touch, steps inside again, drives it on his right hand side, straight down the line towards Paul Hand. Paul Hand and John Kelly's fighting for this ball. Kelly was strong underneath it, and it's now Cahill Boylan who picks it up first time. Cahill whips on it, gets it straight into the full forward line, and I think maybe Killeavy are a wee bit naive with their tactics here now at the start of the second half. They've been throughout the field a bit, maybe with that wind, and that ball goes straight into Kieran Mulholland's hand. Kieran's fit to clear it back down the line again now, and it's Killeavy back on the attack through Paddy Devine. Paddy's out in front of his man there, which is Matty McAvoy. Wins the ball first time. He gives a hand inside, probably not the best option. He was looking for Michael Dorn, but Michael can't get on it. Conor Hanaway gets it and delivers down towards the centre half forward, who's Raymond McNally, but Raymond can't get to that one. The ball just goes out over the line for a sideline for Lurgan.
It's a frantic enough start to the second half. Not many opportunities being created just yet, but that'll come when the game settles down. Both teams still persisting with a two-man full forward line. Killeavy have opted to keep an extra full back in there, which will probably negate any goal chances that might arise.
Yeah, there's Paddy Bourne now out in front again. Paddy takes the ball first time in his hand, and he hesitated with that shot. He gave it straight into the keeper's hand again. That's the second time now in the space of a couple of minutes there in the start of this second half. And Tom McCavan there again. Tom gets out in front of his man, picks the ball up brilliantly, feeds it Paul Hand. John Kelly's up in there to pick up the loose scraps. John can't get the ball clear. It only goes as far as Brandy Coleman. Brandy takes a nice wee touch to Michael Dorn, who's standing in space in the middle of the field. Michael swings a stick at it. The ball looks like it's going to carry the distance, and it does. A brilliant score there from big Michael Dorn in the middle of the field.
Yeah, great score from distance from Michael. Brandy Coleman found him well there with that little punted pass. So yeah, but still hope for Sean Treacy's, and they're on the attack again.
There's another great catch there from Paddy Devine. Paddy gets that, tries to pump it into the full forward line first time, but Killeavy man's out in front, but he fumbles that ball there, and he's judged a block chop, which he definitely did do. It was number 2 there, I think. It was actually, Donald Toll out in front there, and Donald just chopped down him as soon as he lost possession of that ball. So it's going to be a free here, about 24-25 yards out, relatively straight in front of goal. You know, Park, in a game like this, it's now 2-8 to 8 points in favour of Killeavy. In a game like this, when you get maybe an opportunity like this here, Killeavy have kind of went to sleep here a wee bit. They're not protecting the front of the goal. Would you have a go at the likes of this?
You could have a pump at that, surely. Yeah, no, Killeavy aren't expecting anyone to go for goal here. You could certainly go for it.
But he doesn't. Paddy just slots that one over the bar. Maybe he thinks the point's the better option to leave 5 points in it. Yeah, there's a sub coming on here. The fellow we talked about earlier on, the Evergreen Nile Trainer's coming in. I think he's going to be coming in the full back. He seems to be coming on for, actually I'm not sure yet, it's hard to see from here, but Niall's going to feature in this final anyway. I know he's carrying a hip injury there. Well, he's had it a couple of months now. It's an ongoing injury, so Niall's going to make an appearance in this final anyway. Yeah, it's number 7 there that he's replacing Thomas Cassidy. Thomas hasn't really been in the game today, and Niall's in for him now in the second half. Oh, that's a great catch there from big Owen McParland. Owen does brilliantly there, shows brilliant strength. He throws them onto the ground, which was number 7 there, Mark Farron. Mark tried to do what you tell players to do, is stand them up, but big McParland just thumped out over the top of him, and he ended up winning the free.
Yeah, it's a great catch to win possession from their own puck out there. The free gives another scoring opportunity here for Davy Grant, and you'd imagine He's 65 metres out, and the way Davy's been playing today, he's not short in confidence. You'd imagine he'll stick this over.
Yeah, Davy should be well fit to put this ball over. Davy's just laying it up now. Lifting the ball, striking it towards the goals. Ball looks like it's going to drop towards the edge of the square. Kieran Holland does very, very well. Comes out and catches that ball first time, but Paul Boyle has also said that it's a square ball, so it's going to be a free out to Lurgan.
Yeah, Kieran Holland did very well there. Defending his own box. Ball lands just on the 6-yard line. He's quickly out of the blocks just to claim that and win just free. Yeah,
now Kieran's going to deliver this ball himself. That's a huge free there from the edge of his own 6-yard box, and he puts it down to near enough the 45. And the Lurgan man picks it up. I think it's number 10 there. It was Decky Cusack, and has a pop out at first time, but puts it to the left of the post and wide. Yeah, it was Decky Cusack. He maybe just snapped at that one a wee bit, Park.
Yeah, it's maybe Decky's first shot of the game. Yeah, he maybe found himself lucky to be in possession. The ball wasn't and reacted just too quickly to that.
This ball, Big McParnell now does brilliantly again, gets up and catches that ball under pressure, gives a first time hand pass into number 11 there, which is Raymond McNally. Raymond looks for the ball first time to Niall Strain. Niall looks to break the tackle, takes it on, he tries to hand pass it out into space, but he only goes as far as Rhys McGee. But Niall gets back on the ball himself, but ball flicks off his stick and then his foot and goes out for a wide ball. And Niall was a wee bit unlucky there. He maybe thought there was somebody going to be making a run into that corner, and he hand passed that ball out, and there was actually nobody there to run on it, so he had to go after it himself.
Yeah, he shows a lot of pace. He'll cause damage in there. They seem to be playing him nearly roving between the half forward line and the full forward line there now. And if he gets the ball in any space at all, he'll go directly for goal.
Yeah, definitely so. And there's a free here in the middle of the field for Lurgan, but there's a wee bit of a descent there from Matty McAvoy. I don't think he was really aiming it at the ref. I think he might have been more frustrated with himself, but Paul Boylan has tucked the ball up on 10 or 15 yards again, which leaves it a good scoring opportunity here for Paddy Devine. And I'd say you not have to tell Paddy twice, you not have to ask him twice to put a ball like that over the bar. Great score there from Paddy Devine.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's back to 2-8 Killeavy, 10 points Sean Treacy's, and you wonder, is the experience starting to tell here, and that Sean Treacy's been here so many times before?
Yeah, and another thing, Park, is it's probably hard for us to tell here up in the stand. It's hard for us to tell exactly what way that wind's blowing. To me it seems now that Lurgan have the advantage of the wind.
Yeah, in the first half it was blowing down towards Niles Crescent. It moved sort of into the stand, and now it's blowing into the Dalton Road end. It's difficult to know it. You couldn't tell whether it's an advantage to anyone or not.
Randy Coleman's going to hit this sideline. The ref's just calling a few players back there just a bit close to the ball now. They're getting a wee bit enthusiastic, so to speak. Randy puts a lovely ball down in towards his full forward there, but Donald tolls out in front. Donald picks the ball, collects it first time, plants the feet and drives the ball straight down the middle of the field in the direction of Niall Strain. Niall just can't get on that first time, but the Lurgan man jukes through 2 tackles there. Michael Ward done very, very well to get through the 2 tackles. Fires the ball towards goal, but puts it to the right and wide. He done very well there, Park, to get through that tackle. I think the 2 Killeavy men actually ended up hitting themselves.
The player there, Michael, did very well indeed. Maybe just took the head staggers with the shot. It's noticeable that Lurgan or Sean Treacy have moved Cathal McGarry into full forward, and they want to be launching a few high balls into him. He's obviously in there for a reason. He's a big strapping lad, and him and Niall Trainer, I'd imagine, will have a bit of a tussle in there.
There's a hefty tackle there, went in from Owen McParland on Brandy Coleman. Brandy's down. I think it was innocuous enough. I don't think Brandy will be down for too long. He'd probably get up as soon as McParland gets his yellow card here. He'd probably get up and go on about his business. So far, Park, it's been there's been no real free-flowing hurling as such. It hasn't been tight or congested, but there's been no real great passages of play. The game's, it's threatening to open up all the time, but they're still keeping it reasonably tight.
Yeah, certainly in this half there's been a lot played around the middle third, and no team really getting the upper hand, although Sean Treacy's have chipped in with 2 scores. Maybe Killeavy are of the mindset to just stop Sean Treacy scoring. However, I would imagine Sean Treacy's will be looking to pump in a couple of goals, and that's why Cathal McGarry's in there.
Yeah, and Michael Dorn now puts that ball long into the full forward line. Kelly's trying to get under control. Now Trinner's in there. Eddie Fern ends up getting the lift or the flick to get the ball away, and Eddie draws the free. They're done very well. It's probably maybe a wee bit of experience shown there for Eddie. He got himself between the man and the ball, and I'd safely say if you asked Eddie, he'd probably tell you himself he went down a wee bit easy there.
Yeah, well, that's experience. Eddie, who captained the county hurlers at the time around 2006, so very experienced, one of the older hands in the Killeavy setup, and yeah, basically bought his free there, but it relieves the pressure.
Yeah, Eddie, he captained the county to a National League title. Not sure exactly the year. I think it might have been 2006 or 8, you know. So Eddie's been about a long time, and he knows how to play the game. This is Lurgan back in the attack now. Sean Treacy's, and it's that number 10 again. Dackie Cusack, who's starting to come back into the game a wee bit now, but Michael Dorn's in there, picks the ball up, gives it first time to Paddy Devine. Paddy Devine steps aside of the 2 tackles there. Big Tom McCavin there, he takes the tackle on but gives the ball out to Brandy Coleman. Brandy can't get under control first time. Brandy ended up getting it in his hand. Torrens first time fires it over his left hand side and fires it over the bar. Lovely score there from Brandy, and Brandy's giving a wee bit of a fist pump there as he's coming out to try and get the crowd going.
Yeah, again, Brandy will give all that he has got to win the game. As I mentioned previously, Sean Treacy's field have left a couple of Ulsters behind them, and they'll be mad looking to get back into the Ulster race.
Yeah, definitely so. It's Killeavy back in the attack here, but it's Michael Dorn and Lurgan tries to get the ball under control, but it's big McParland again. McParland gets the ball away first time under pressure. Davy Grant's out in front, but as Paddy Bourne takes on his man. He has a goal opportunity here, but Paddy gets hooked. Anthony Carville does brilliantly there to get a hook on that ball, and Paddy Bourne ends up putting it wide. Done brilliant to get back.
Fabulous defence there from Anthony Carville. Paddy Bourne probably had him for speed, but Anthony defended his goal well and just got a last ditch hook in there. Excellent defending.
And this is Paddy Devine here. Paddy has picked up a loose ball. Paddy fires it in the direction of the Killeavy goal. Killeavy keeper done brilliant there. Took an awful heavy tackle from the number 3, which is Cahill McGarry. Done.
Fabulous save there from Eamon McIntyre. The ball was going over the bar. It was another score for Paddy Devine. He has stopped it going over the bar. He has controlled it perfectly. He has shipped a heavy tackle then, just when he got possession of the ball. Yeah,
definitely so. And he might well have been brave, but he didn't even get the chance to be brave. As soon as he got the ball in his hand, the big number 3 there, which is Cahill McGarry. Cahill was straight in to have him. As they tell you there, but you're underage, drive man ball the whole lot into the back of the net, and I think that's what Cahill tried to do.
Well, it's a championship final. You'll do what it takes. I don't know that there was terribly much intent, and he maybe shoulder charged him. The keeper does get a bit more protection than everyone else, but I don't think there was anything else in that warrants any more than a yellow card.
No, it was a perfectly good hit. It was just that maybe a bit of a mismatch in size with McGarry and young McAteer there in nets, that he just maybe hit him too hard, so to speak.
You'd imagine he might receive a shoulder himself shortly from that young gentleman trainer there.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
The opportunity arises.
Yeah, there's going to be a sub here for Sean Treacy's. It'll be number 19, Peter Devlin. Peter seems to be coming on for Paul Hand. Yeah, it is. So it's number 19, Peter Devlin, on for number 15, Paul Hand. I think Paul's too happy at getting took off.
No, I thought Paul was actually doing fairly well there, but hey, Sean Treacy's management know their players better than us, and they know what
it's Paddy Devine here on the ball again.
Pat Linus is capable of.
Paddy again breaks a couple of tackles here. The ball's in high between Niall Trainer and Big McGarry, but it breaks to the Lurgan man. The Killeavy man has it back now in control again. Peter Smith. Peter drives out through a couple of tackles, gives it first time to Eddie Fern. Eddie can't get it under control, but his centre half forward there, Rim McNally's in trying to help him out. Great tackling there from Lurgan. They're fighting for every ball on that full forward line. Clem McKeown flicks the ball on to the direction of Davy Grant, but Davy can't get under control first time. Ball's driven to this far side, and big Owen McParland's got a bit of space, but there's men closing down on him very quickly. You want to get rid of it, he does. He gets rid of the ball down into the corner towards Davy Grant. Davy's not out in front of his man, but his man there, number 2 for Lurgan, Ryan Sands, is out in front of him. That comes off Ryan for a sideline cut. Yeah, what's noticeable is too, Park, in the second half as well, that the man now just going over to take the sideline. Young Boylan hasn't touched leather in the second half. You know, maybe it's a tactic of Lurgan's or Sean Treacy's, just to keep the ball away from him, to keep him out of the game, because in the first half he was the man that was keeping him in it.
He had a lot of possession in the first half. Took some fabulous scores. Hasn't really been in the game here in the second half. And Sean Treacy, to my mind, are certainly winning the tactical battle at present. It's just whether they can get enough scores on the board. They're back to a 3-point game.
Definitely so, yeah. This ball's put high between Paddy Devine and 3 Killeavy men, but Killeavy man gets it under control their first time. And it's now going to be Matty McAvoy who gives a nice hand pass out there to number 22 for Killeavy, which is Eddie Fearon. Eddie puts the ball down the middle of the field. He hits that ball. Rainbow Daly, otherwise known as Raymond Daly, gets the ball back down to Eddie again. Eddie picks it up first time, breaks the tackle. Probably going to give this ball out now, but Michael Doran does brilliant work there to get back and dispossess. He gets a stick in, flicks him. Ball's a wee bit messy now, it's a wee bit huddled. And Paul Boylan's going to blow it up. There's going to be a ball through, and yeah, they're starting to put their bodies on the line here, Park. You can see that they're starting to fight that wee bit harder for it now in the second half.
Yeah, they certainly are. It means a lot, certainly, to both teams to win this. Killeavy for the first time. Sean Treacy, as I said, to get back into that Ulster race, and the experience that they have is bearing out well here. And the next score could decide where this title goes to. Yeah,
definitely so. I see Donald Tolles just come off there just as we were talking. I'm not sure who it is come on for him, but I'll get that substitute for you very shortly. It's Brandy Coleman and Big McParland for this ball. Paddy Devine picks it up first time. Matty McAvoy's in spoiling there. Matty tries to get the ball away. Devine's smart. He kicks the ball out in the space for himself, but it's only going to go as far as Niall Strachan. Niall shows a great burst of pace there. He's going to take on Devine. Niall delivers that ball first time into the middle of the field. He probably would have been better going into the corner with it. Reece McGee picks it up. Shows a great turn of foot himself. Reece into a bit of space. Delivers a smart ball into the corner. In as far as big Cahill McGarry. Cahill's out in front trying to catch it, but he just can't hold it. Niall Strachan now fumbles the ball, but number 7's out in front there, Mark Fearon. Mark gives it back to Reece McGee. Reece tries to break the tackle, and Niall Strachan ends up fouling him.
You might consider this another scoring opportunity possibly for Michael Doran. He's a long distance out. No, he's not even going to get taken at
yeah, I think Paddy Devine's going to hit this one. By the looks of it, Paddy's going to pump it into the edge of the square, because they seem to be filtering in right back to the edge of the square, the Sean Treacy's players. Yeah, I suppose that now's the time that they'd be looking about a goal. It's, as it stands, it's 2-8 to Killeavy and 11 points to Sean Treacy, so you know there's very little between the sides at this stage.
Yeah, Paddy want this one to drop on the edge of the square, I'd imagine.
Yeah, and that's just exactly where it's dropping. Niall Turner gets his hand on it and throws his body over the top of the ball, but can't get it out. Matty McAvoy takes the ball. He takes a lot of steps there. Paul Boylan lets him going ahead. Matty's still going. Michael Doran in pursuit of him, but Paul Boylan has given a free out for Matty, but Michael's been adjudged to have chopped down on his shoulder. Yeah. Paul, I think, let him away with a wee bit there. He let him away with about maybe 8 or 10 steps, but you know, he was sort of giving him the advantage. It's probably the advantage you'd have wanted him to give the forward that was attacking in the first half part.
Yeah, most certainly. If he'd have given that advantage, there probably would have been a goal there. Again, this ball maybe dropped in onto the edge of the square. Both teams will maybe consider going for goals before that half's over.
Yeah, I think they definitely will. It's.
To be fair, it was great defence by Niall Traynor there to stop, but when the ball did break, Niall basically put his body on the line that the ball wasn't to get past him. He blocked it with his body. He's taken a bit of a rap to one of his legs there, but he's up and moving again.
Matty McAvoy fires this ball into the corner forward and as far as Paddy Brown, but Paddy can't get on it. Niall Strain picks it up then, picks up the loose ball, fires it straight back across to Davy Grant. Davy takes it first time. Davy's pulled, and it's going to be a 21-yard free straight in front of the goals. Had it have been another yard towards the goals, it was definitely a penalty, because he was just right on the 14-yard line.
Yeah, it's a textbook pass from Niall Strain. It's what you're taught from your 10 years of age. If you're stuck on the end line, put it back to the 21. Killeavy have obviously practiced this. Davy Grant's there waiting on it, takes a good catch, and yeah, certainly got fouled on his way through. However, Davy might take an opportunity to strike this low. As
the game stands, Park 2-8 to 11 points. There's only 3 in it. This would maybe be, it'll leave 4 in it. I don't think he'll have a go at it. I think he'll just pop it over the bar. You know, had the game maybe even if they were chasing the game at this stage, Davy probably would have put it, or you know, had a go for goal. But yeah, he just coolly slots that ball over the bar. Probably the right decision.
Yeah, keep it a 4-point game at all times will be Killeavy's motto now. As the lead 2-9 to 11 points. Sean Treacy's will have to up it a gear.
There's a long ball coming out now from Kieran Mulholland. Paddy Devine pulls another brilliant ball out of the sky. Paddy has a shot at it, but the ball just goes wide. That's probably Paddy's 4th scoring opportunity, Park, maybe 5th from open play, where there hasn't been a big pile of pressure on him, and he has put the ball wide.
Yeah, he started everything he hit went over the bar, and certainly his last 4 have tailed off wide. He'll continue to get opportunities, but he'll certainly have to score some now very shortly.
There's Raymond Daly on the ball now. Raymond steps inside the centre half forward there for Killeavy, which is Raymond McNally, but the ball just goes out for a sideline, so it's going to be a Killeavy sideline on the far side of the field, right in the middle of the field. I see another substitution. Stanton here ready to go on for Sean Treacy's Patrick Linus. So they're obviously going to try and freshen things up here at Treacy's. This is Conor Holloway now hitting this ball. He puts it straight across the field in the direction of Cahill Boylan. Cahill hasn't done a big pile in this second half now, but Cahill, yes, does very, very well. Gets round his man, and the number 17 there for Sean Treacy's, Dermot Austin, just pulls his jersey and gives away a needless free. But I think had he not have pulled the jersey, it was definitely going to be a score anyway, because he was gone. There was nobody near me. It was an easy point for him to put over the bar, 35-40 yards.
Yeah, Cahill gone in a space there. He would certainly have popped that over the bar. Again, leaves a good enough chance for Davy Grant here.
Yeah, and it's big Tom Holloway coming off there now for Lurgan. I think Lurgan are going to ready another man. Here's number 24 line, warming up on the line, Matthew Latham. Matthew must be coming in now shortly. Yeah, so it's a free here for Davy Grant. It's probably about 50 yards back to the right hand side of the Lurgan goals, and I think the wind definitely has changed. It seems to be getting into Killeavy's face now.
Yeah,
they seem to play with it in the first half, and now they're playing, play again it in the first half, and now they seem to be playing again in the second half. You could see with Davy the way he lifted that free, you just knew he never lifted it right, and it was all wrong then when he struck the ball. He put that to the right of the goals and wide.
Yeah, not a lot of opportunities missed for both teams here in the second half. Certainly Sean Treacy, you would imagine, within the next few minutes we'll start looking for goals.
Yeah, so it's number 7 there coming off Mark Fern for Sean Treacy's. Yeah, definitely show. Well, saying that there's still only 4 points in it, Park, it's 2-9 to 11 points, so it's still all to play for. Lurgan still winning this game. If they do go up and get a goal, it's definitely there for the taking for them.
Yeah, well, stats in this half have been 4 scores for Sean Treacy's and 1 for Killeavy. Sean Treacy's have been in the ascendancy throughout this half.
And as we alluded to before half time, they have went 15-on-15 in the second half.
Yeah, and that could tell to be successful for them. Yep.
Kieran Mulholland just didn't get a right connection on that ball, but Rhys McGee's very alert to pick it up on the half back line and delivers a ball up into the corner towards big Decky Cusack. Decky Cusack takes the ball, steps inside a couple of tackles, 3 tacklers, and he wins his free. He's probably just outside the 21-yard line, about 10 yards in from the sideline. So Paddy Devine, you'd imagine, is going to step up and slot this one over the bar again.
Yeah, it's the position in this free shouldn't really phase Paddy. Decky Cusack did well there when he got the ball, taking on 3 Killeavy defenders. He probably wasn't going to get through that gap. However, he went for it, probably knowing full well that he would be fouled, and he creates a scoring opportunity from possession, which is all you can ask.
Yeah, so Paddy stands over this one now. He's trying to get his angles right here. Paddy just about pops it, and he pops it over the bar. Yeah, to me it looked like he didn't just get the right connection on it, but it was still going the right direction. The ball still went over the bar.
Yeah, he corrected his feet just as he lifted that. However, connected with the ball well. It's over the bar, and it's all to play for now. With 3 points in it.
So it's Killeavy back on the attack here through Eamon McAteer. Eamon gets the ball down first time towards Niles through in the middle of the field. Niles can't get it under control. Paddy, there's that man again. Paddy Devine popping up. Paddy tries to take on his man. He tries to get away from Paddy McAvoy. Can't get away. He gives the ball back to Raymond Daly. Raymond Daly breaks the tackle again of Glenn McKeown. There's 3 Killeavy men around him tackling him. He gives a hand pass there, kind of into space, more so than anything else. And Conor Holloway does brilliant there to get back and mop up that loose ball. And he ends up getting a free out for his team with a chop when he was trying to collect the ball.
Yeah, if you take a look at the pitch right now, every single player on the pitch nearly is in a channel right up the middle.
Yeah.
And Sean Treacy has been attacking there. There's been no one in a decent area of the pitch to give the ball to that has been in a scoring area. Tactically, it hasn't been just a great game.
There's Davy Grant out in front for that ball. Conor Holloway picks it up first time, and Conor swings that brilliantly over the bar. Brilliant score from Conor Holloway. I think Davy actually missed that one there. He misjudged it, but it worked out perfect and stayed into Conor's path. Conor slogged it over the bar.
An excellent corner forward play from Conor Holloway there.
There's big Owen McParland on the ball now. Owen gives the ball first time hand pass to Nell Strain. Nell has a wee bit of time to look up and pick out his player. Davy Grant running kind of blind onto this one. Davy's out in front, but Kieran Mulholland does brilliantly to come out and read that. Comes off his line. Kieran's out, gives the hand pass to number 17 now. That's Dermot Austin. Dermot Austin, there's 3 Killeavy men around him tackling. Dermot gets dispossessed. And yeah, Dermot's judged there to give away a free. It was Cathal Boylan that ended up getting the ball in his hand. And really, if Killeavy want to kick on and win this game, they have to be putting the likes of these scores away. Park, frees from 35, 40, anything up to 70 yards, they should be putting them over the bar.
Oh, they do, absolutely. When you've reached the final, when you've done all that training and all that work, yes, you shouldn't be letting nerves get the better of you. Everything inside 65 metres should be going over the bar.
Yeah, so it's Davy Grant stepping up now to hit this one again. It's probably halfway between the 45 and the 70. And Davy's probably going to take his time over this. He should be in no panic. It's 2-10 to 12 points in favour of Killeavy at the minute. So, Davy should take his time over this. Just take his time, slot over the bar, regroup again and go again. But Davy puts that wide again. Maybe it's time for them to think about the likes of Cathal Boylan there had a couple of lovely scores in the first half. Maybe it's time for them to think about giving Cathal a few of them.
Yeah, that's Davy's third miss. He missed a 65, and that's 2 from maybe 50 metres out that have tailed just off the right hand side. And he's probably misjudged the wind. This
is Decky Cusick now. Decky gets on the loose ball there. Decky runs at the goals and fires that ball nicely over the bar. And from Davy going to having a point there from about 55, 60 yards, the ball has gone straight back up the field again, and Lurgan have got a point, so it leaves just the maximum between the teams now. At this stage is 2-10 to 13 points.
Yeah, instead of a 5-point game, it's back to a 3-point game, and Sean Treacy's have capitalised on that miss free by Davy, and they're still in the hunt. They're fighting very hard, and if they get a bit more quality ball into their full forward line, who knows what could happen.
Yeah, definitely so. Big Parnell goes up again for that ball for Killeavy, but Matty McAvoy's trying to get onto a loose ball here. Matty can't just get this. Eddie Fern now. Eddie tries to flick it out to Conor Holloway. Eddie's still fighting for the ball here. Conor Holloway flicks it out. It's going to be the number 5 for Killeavy, which is Peter Smith. Peter gathers that ball well, gives it to Boylan. Boylan plants the feet and gets hooked, or blocked, sorry, should I say. He does well then and torn to get the ball back in his possession again. He took a hard knock there to his fingers, and it's number 19 for Lurgan now. Peter Davney gets on that ball. Peter just can't keep it under control. And again, it's Peter Smith drives out to that ball, and Paul Boylan has he's given a free in. I'm not sure what he's given it for. I didn't actually see, but I think he's showing that there maybe somebody was holding his hand, or not holding his hand as such, but holding his arm or whatever he was holding.
Yeah, there may have been a tug there on the Sean Treacy's player. Cathal Boylan appears to have taken maybe a rap to the finger or the knuckles here.
Yeah, it was the hand. It was definitely the hand, the fingers. I see he has one of the Ashguard gloves on him, but at the same time he must have just got it in the end of the fingers.
However, he's playing on anyway, on another opportunity here for Michael Doran to put maybe 2 points in it.
Yeah, definitely so, and it's just been indicated there that there's going to be 2 minutes injury time. The referee's up just having a talk with a couple of the players. I think it's John Kelly for Killeavy, and I think it's the sub there that come on, number 19, Peter Devlin.
Peter Devlin, yeah.
No, he's just having a word with them. I'm probably getting a wee bit hot and heavy. I'd say there's a few handbags been through round in there, and I know John can throw them rightly. It's Michael Dorn now. Michael puts that brilliantly over the bar. Great score from Michael Dorn. As cool as you like. Steps up, lifts the ball and just slots it straight. The ball never moved. Park, it just went straight over the bar.
Yeah, it's a fabulous score and a great style from Michael there. This puck out could be a deciding factor in the game. If Sean Treacy can win this and take another score, the game's theirs.
Yeah, definitely so. So Eamon McAteer here tries to get this ball, goes ups for distance, but the wind's definitely holding up. Randy Coleman standing on his own. Eddie Fern does brilliantly there to get out in front of his man and move that ball on down the line to Boylan. Boylan tries to flick it on the direction of Davy Grant, but Reece McGee's there. Reece maybe give him a wee bit too much of a look there. It's Dackie Cusack chasing this one hard up the line. Eddie Fearn does brilliantly to howl back, pick this ball up, and Eddie drives it, but he drives it into the stand, and it's going to be a sideline cut for Lurgan. Eddie had a lot of time there, Park. He probably could have took that ball in, but there's a lot of space at the far side of the field. He could have drilled it straight across the field.
Yeah, it would take there's not much space. It would have taken a minute for anybody to get there and wasted that period of time. Yeah, all the players certainly down this wing at present. There's no one on the far side of the pitch. And, someone with Eddie's experience, you would have imagined, would have used that ball a little better.
Well, I think Eddie's shown his experience here now. He's gone down and he's telling the ref to hold on. Maybe he's trying to waste a wee bit of time. He's telling the ref now that he's okay. This sideline's going to be coming from Brandy Coleman. Brandy tries to get the ball into the full forward line, but it's not man again. Paddy Devine comes out and picks it up first time. He's under a bit of pressure there from the Killeavy centre half forward, which is Raymond McNally. Paddy puts it straight across the field there to Michael Ward. Michael just fumbles the ball first time. It gives Killeavy an opportunity to regroup and maybe try and get the ball off him again. Michael gives a hand pass towards Michael Dorn, but he can't get it to him. Killeavy man wins the ball, but he's boxed in there first time. He gets it away with the second swing of the stick. And number 18 there for Lurgan picks up the ball, which is Patrick Linus. Patrick tries to break through the tackle. He gives it to Paddy Devine. Paddy seems to take a lot of steps there, but Paul Boylan's happy enough to let him go with it. And it's number 19 now, Peter Davlin. Peter fires that one towards goal. The ball's blocked away again. That's that man again, Eddie Fearn, who's having an absolutely stormer of a game in there. Park. He's probably been, if not Killeavy's best performer on the day, one of the best performers.
Yeah, Killeavy are very experienced in the full back line there. These guys have been around a long time. As we said beforehand, they have dragged Killeavy hurlers through the bad times, and they would like to be part of the good times.
Yeah, exactly.
And if they can hold out here, this is certainly a good time for them.
Yeah, as it stands, it's 2-10 to Killeavy, 14 points to Sean Treacy's. Sean Treacy's would want to be getting a score here sometime soon. Park. There's just the man that we were talking about, Eddie Fearn. Eddie seems to be making his way off. I think it was number 20 come on for him, which is Malachi Trainer. So Eddie's left proceedings for the day. I think Eddie's put in a good enough shift. Now there's an absolutely magnificent score from Brandy Coleman. A sideline cut on the far side of the field out near the 45. And he puts it straight over the bar. Funny, we talked about that in the first half. They said he was well capable of doing it.
Yeah, the pressure's on both teams now. Sean Treacy certainly won't want to be defeated by 1 point. Killeavy defend their lead desperately.
Yeah, this ball needs to be won by Killeavy here to try and hold on to that lead. But the ball has been straight out of play for a sideline for Brandy Coleman again to hit it. You can see the Lurgan management and the Killeavy management telling them all to get back into the half and defend. As it stands, there's only 2 players, which is, and the referee Paul Boylan has blew the whistle, and Killeavy have won the match by a point on a scoreline of 2-10 to 15 points. And Park, it probably, the game threatened to be entertaining the whole way through, and it was a good standard of hurling. A lot of good movement, a lot of good play, but at the very end there, it was sheer determination and sheer heart that won that game for Killeavy in the end.
Yeah, you'd have to say that Killeavy, on the balance of things, just deserved to win the game, and it was the goals in the first half that did that. They gave them a fabulous lead of 7 points at half time, which they defended desperately. Would mention the experience in their full back line there. They didn't create many scoring opportunities in the second half. They missed three frees. Things were maybe going against them. However, they're still in front at the end, which speaks volumes for them. You'd have to feel very sorry for Sean Treacy's, who tried ever so hard, who played some excellent hurling, who scored 15 scores today.
Yeah.
You'd have to feel that they were very unfortunate, but hats off to Killeavy, who have won the first junior final. This competition started when teams went through to Ulster in 2004, and the first winners were St Malachy's Portadown. I don't remember Killeavy being on that winners list in that period of 10 years, so hats off to them today, and they deserve their victory.